In all thy getting, get an understanding, they say. Well, I'd like to add to that, in all thy getting, no, in all thy being, be accountable. Hey, folks, and welcome back to this personal growth area of YouTube right here on my channel. Today, we're going to be diving into the transformative topic that has the potential to skyrocket your personal and your professional life, and that is accountability. Okay, stay with me now because I'm going to explore the powerful practices and like how being accountable to someone, both personally and professionally, and most importantly to yourself, can actually really be powerful. Right? I want you to understand that, and we're going to get into it today. Now, at the end of this video, you'll not only grasp the profound impact of accountability in these crucial, well, three crucial aspects of life, but you'll also discover actionable strategies to become more accountable and lead a more successful and fulfilling life. Listen, in a world filled with distractions and constant change, being accountable is often like the key differentiator between achieving goals and merely dreaming about them. So today we're going to be unlocking the power of accountability to help you thrive. Have you ever wondered how some people consistently excel in their personal and their professional pursuits? Have you ever wondered how you could stay accountable to yourself, um, the most important commitment of them all, right? Well, stick around because we're about to answer these vital questions.
Listen, ShySpeaks, 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 ShySpeaks.
Let's start by unraveling the importance of personal accountability. It's the commitment we make to ourselves, and it's the foundation of success in every area of our lives. When we talk about goals, right? Goals are personal. So the commitment should be also, you got to take it personal. You got to, first of all, set some specific goals and some specific expectations because that leads to productivity. I talked about that in one of the previous videos. I should probably link it to this video here. So if you want to check that out, do so. You want to create a system of tracking and reporting. What I mean by, you want to get a task management app or you want to use a calendar. You will be surprised by how many people are actually not using Google Calendar. I'm surprised. I'm like, you have Google Calendar right here. It tells you like what I got going on. Use your calendar. You still, no, I'm telling you, that makes a difference. You can hold yourself accountable because you can set it on your calendar at this specific time that this is a specific goal. Sorry, this is a specific goal that you're supposed to be doing at this specific time according to the calendar. Let's say, for example, you're supposed to be working out. Set that on your calendar at 6:30 a.m. that you're working out at 6:30 a.m. This way it pops up on your phone. You know that's what you're supposed to be doing. Or you can get some other type of productivity or task management app, but I'd be surprised how many people are not using just their calendar. There's also a such thing as a task manager, which means you can set something as it's not an event that's coming up like a birthday party or maybe a training session that you have to go to, but it's a task that you say you want to do. Like you can set, hey, I want to write for 30 minutes at 1 p.m. every day, or for 30 minutes at 7 p.m. every day. You can set it as a task and have it reoccurring, and it pops up, and you have to click check to say that it's done. That's just a simple way of holding your own self accountable to your own goals. And then the last thing I want to say is to practice self-reflection and ownership. When you set aside dedicated time to review your progress, you're having opportunities to self-reflect. And then you also create opportunity to take ownership because, listen, we sit down weekly and we look at what all happened. Did it go well? What went well, what did not go well, and you can actually acknowledge both your successes and your failures. I'm going to keep it moving because this right here is really good. Number two, we want to talk about personal accountability, right? Building trust and building respect. Now, again, like I said, let's shift our focus to the professional accountability. Professional, that is. It's not just about meeting work deadlines. It's about building trust and respect in your career. The best way to build trust with others is to carry yourself in a respectable way. I said the best way to build trust with others is to carry yourself in a respectable way. Here's something you could do in your professional life. You can document your work and your actions. If there are projects that you're managing, document those things. If there are meetings that you had and action items that you were supposed to be taking away from that meeting, document it, write it down. This is how you actually carry yourself in a respectable way. Take initiative and seek feedback, right? This is professional accountability, meaning I am inviting you. I'm coming in to ask you for your advice. Notice I said advice, not opinion. People feel better about giving you advice. If you say, hey, can I have your opinion? They're like, this is somebody who wants my opinion, who probably gonna get mad at my opinion. If you come to them humbly and say, hey, I would like to have your advice. How did I do in that meeting? Or can you give me some advice on how maybe I could have did better in presenting that meeting or answering the question in that meeting? I'm just really curious on what you think. What that does is make the person feel like you value their wisdom, right? Again, at the same time, it says I'm a person that's open to feedback, which means I'm open to be accountable. Now, I do want to say you need to be making improvements on those things you get feedback from. Otherwise, people are going to know you're just somebody that likes talking. You're on this career thing to seem accountable. Like, hey, I talk to people, I ask them questions. You're like, and you're into that answering. You're like, and you're not going to do anything about it. And they know that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about truly, truly taking professional accountability in such a way that you carry yourself with respect, and it begins to trickle over into more trust in your career. Another thing I want to talk about, I want to explore the profound impact of being accountable to just others in your personal life, right? It's the ultimate motivator, if you ask me. You could just find someone who has a shared goal with you, shared vision, shared dreams, any of that. Or there are people who you see that is really excited about you achieving the next level. They like, oh man, you did that. That's so great. I'm so excited about that. I can't wait for you to do this, that, and the third. And if they're so excited, maybe they don't have the same shared goal because you're in two different walks of life, but they're excited about seeing you get to the next. Maybe you can ask that person, and you can invite them to hold you to your commitment to get to that very next thing, whatever that is, right? Your commitment to continue to be consistent with the quality that you put out, or the consistency that you put out, or whatever it is that you are doing. You invite that person in. I think the best person, though, is someone who has shared vision so that you and them can both hold each other accountable. You can establish regular check-ins with one another, and you can give updates. And so here's the thing. Let's say, for example, the person is not checking in on you. Like, I told them to hold me accountable. They never checked in. No, you go ahead and set the regular check-ins in. I did that before. I was like, man, I asked these people to hold me accountable, and they never really checked in. And probably because they didn't want to be held accountable in the area that I was asking for accountability in, so they didn't want to talk about it. But what I should have did is just set a consistent schedule to be held accountable in that. So I'll check in. I'll give them an update, and then they can kind of give me their feedback from there. Listen, another thing that you can do, I think that this is a very missed opportunity when we're talking about establishing accountability with others, and that is working in some type of incentives or some type of consequence. A lot of times people are like, I want to be accountable, but at the end of the day, what's the punishment if the person says like, oh yeah, you're not doing what you're supposed to do? It's like, yeah, shoot, I'm not. See, there's no consequence. So there is no reward center, or nothing's firing off in your brain like, man, if I do this, I'm gonna lose this. So here's an example. Maybe you say I'm gonna run every day for 5 days a week. Each day is worth $10. If I do not run 5 days a week for at least 10 minutes, I owe you $10. And that person gonna check in with you. How did you do? How did you do? How did you do? Did you run today? And then you're gonna show them some type of metric that proves that you did whatever you did. And then at that point, do you really want to just be losing $10 every day, or would it be better to just go run? Right. So there's a consequence that winds up being a motivator for you. Also, another thing is an incentive. At the end of the day, if I run 5 days a week for an entire month, as I said I would, what am I going to do to reward myself? Rewards are slept on in accountability, which says, hey, if you do this, man, I'm going to take it. Let's say somebody is asking you to hold them accountable. I want you to say, hey, I'm holding you accountable, but if you do this for a month straight, we're going to go do this as a reward for your hard work, right? So now Not only are they staying committed to their goal, they have something that they're working towards. It's going to be a reward. The thing that they should be getting is going to be the reward, whether that is achieving a particular consistency or achieving a particular outcome, a project, a due, a deadline, something that's going to be the reward. But there's going to be another sweeter reward on top of that. Like, hey, I'm going to take you out to eat, or we're going to go shopping, or we're going to go whatever that person likes to do, go bowling or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is that you like. I'm just saying, set some type of thing in place. Listen, I can go on and on about accountability. But as I wrap this up, I want you to remember that accountability is not just a practice, it's something that you're just practicing on doing. It's a way of life that leads to personal growth. It leads to career success. It leads to stronger relationships, right? The person with whom you're holding accountable and who you're holding accountable and you're being vulnerable with, at some point your relationship is strengthened because of that. And by being accountable to yourself, to others, and in your professional life, you're on the path to a more rewarding and accomplished future. Listen, if you're ready to embrace the power of accountability in your life, I want you to hit the like button. Matter of fact, let's go back. I want to hit the like button, okay? If you really want to say, I'm serious about this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button because I have more where this came from. And if you truly, truly are serious, I want you to also drop me a comment below and say something that you got out of this. Like, what was one of the things that struck with you in this particular topic? Man, and if you want to go even deeper, I encourage you to join Team ShySpeaks. That is my Patreon community for exclusive content. And again, we'll have an opportunity there to continue to walk on your journey towards being a more accountable and successful you. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Listen, ShySpeaks, 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 ShySpeaks.
I did.